Everyone, welcome. My name is Talia and I'm the owner of Quest Studio. I'm so excited to be with you guys today. I'm tuning into 2 cameras so that I make sure that I get all the information that Miss Jeffy has asked me to deliver to you guys today, effective and efficiently. And Miss Duffy and I go way back, but we've been working hand in hand a lot with wellness and how to achieve our personal best with our goals. And I heard that you guys are doing an awesome wellness day today, and I'm sorry I can't be there with you in person, but we will be there in the near future to work on different initiatives to help you with your wellness, whether that's with fitness and nutrition, recovery, setting goals, and different things that may be important to you throughout the year. So I just wanted to introduce myself. Quest Studio is located in Jessup. We have 3 studios within 2 locations on the same block in Jessup, PA, so not too far from your school. And we offer different services that address the 4 main components of health, in our opinion, here at Quest. So we focus on fitness with classes that you can attend in person or live stream, as well as our studio on demand. We focus on nutrition, whether that's custom meal plans based on your metabolism. We do metabolic testing, and we do different incentives and challenges throughout the year. We also focus on recovery, muscle recovery specifically, with fascial stretch therapy, percussive therapy, myofascial release, energy work, things like that, and as well as accountability. So wellness coaching, we use different techniques and devices such as in-body scales, metabolic testing. We use MyZone heart rate monitors to track your exercise or lack thereof, as well as your heart rate and calorie burn, and tracking your inches and body composition and lean muscle and all of the above. So we're kind of like a one-stop shop. But one of my personal favorite things to do when it comes to wellness is educating, because sometimes we all kind of know what we're supposed to do, but it's really kind of looking at ourselves on a personal level and deciding, well, where do we start? So I know today you guys are going to be doing an exercise called One Word, and I know that your theme for the year is to watch us grow at Carbondale School District. So grow actually was our word of the year for Quest last year, and we made this really cool painting, and Miss Duffy actually did an event with us to create this, and we had this on our windowsill here at the studio. You notice that I'm in a church. We bought this old beautiful church that's 128 years old now and turned it into a beautiful yoga studio. And so I'm sitting at the front of the studio right now. It's just such a sacred space to do energy work and yoga and things like that. But grow was our word to focus on growing in numbers, growing our presence in the community, growing in our knowledge and in our strength. Our word for the year this year is strong. So we've been working a lot on programs and services that help you get stronger mentally, physically, all of the above. So I'm proud of you guys for taking the time to listen into me today. So I encourage you to grab a pen, a journal to have with you for the day, as well as for the next 20-25 minutes or so, as we go through maybe some techniques or ideas on how to achieve some goals that you might have. And so the first step in doing that is really to identify what they are. We all tend to, especially as women, for me anyway, I'll speak for myself, to have the number on the scale that's a goal, or to have something specific that we're working towards, whether you're coming up, you're going to be in a wedding, or you're getting married, or you need to fit into a bathing suit for a vacation, or you're gonna go hiking on a trip and need to be in shape, or run a 5K, whatever it is. We tend to set goals that then give us the motivation to do all the little baby steps that we need to complete in order to be able to achieve that goal, right? So a lot of times it's being able to identify what that looks like. And for many of us, we don't have a registration for a 5K ready to go, or we may not have a vacation scheduled because we've been kind of cooped up for the last year and a half because of COVID. And the world looks a lot different now, and our health may look different now, our activity may look different now, what we have access to may look different now. And so we have to look at what does life look like right now, right? So the first thing I would encourage you to do, and you don't have to do it all right now, but the first thing I would encourage you to take some time to do today or tonight, maybe before you go to bed, is to think about and to write down what the ideal day in the life of you looks like for the future. What does that look like? Both personally, relationally, work-wise. How much would you love to be able to sleep? How often would you want to work out? Where would you want to work out? If money, time, resources weren't your health, if they weren't an issue, if they weren't a concern, if you could do anything, go anywhere, achieve or become or look or do anything, what would that actually look like? And so sometimes when I work with clients, one of the top questions that we ask when we do wellness coaching is, what's your goal weight when it comes, because most people are coming to us to lose weight or get healthier because they've let themselves go, or they had a health issue or an injury of some sort. What's their goal weight? And the first thing I'll ask is, when's the last time you weighed that amount? Or if you have a goal dress size, when's the last time you were that dress size? Because oftentimes the goal isn't very realistic, and so we want to look at realistic goals we can actually achieve by setting goals that are little baby steps. We always have this end goal. If someone's going to run a marathon, they're not just going to go run 26.2 miles. They're going to run a little bit at a time and break that distance into chunks as they increase their endurance. So that it's a great example. But when it comes to, I did this exercise recently with a client. And so I said, I would love to sleep 8 hours a day. I know what time I have to get up, so I know what time I would have to go to bed, and that just doesn't happen. Being a business owner and working all day in the business and then working at night on the business, I would love to only have to work so many hours a week, maybe 40 instead of 60. I would love to travel once a month for a 4-day weekend. I would love to not stress about security and finances. So there's all these things we look at different areas of our life. So it's really easy to say, I want to lose weight, I want to start exercising, I want to be healthier, but there's all these other life things that get in the way. You all have a very important job that I know I don't think that I would be able to do, especially not as well as all of you. I love to teach. I'm so used to teaching health and wellness and education and fitness and classes because that's what's comfortable to me. But I'm used to teaching to adult children that are my community. I'm not as used to teaching to little kids. So the stress and the responsibility that comes with the job you have, especially when that job probably looks a lot different right now post-COVID, as we come back into the school system than it maybe did before. There's a lot of stress that comes with that. So when it comes to putting ourselves first and to make ourselves the priority, I always say we have to be able to give and be 100% for ourselves before we can ever be 100% for anybody else. And so the amount of energy that you're pouring out into your students and your coworkers and staff, by the time you go home, it's hard. It's challenging for people to think about all these little things they need to do in order to achieve this big goal. It's really easy to I'll do that later. I didn't work out on Wednesday. I'll start on Monday. And so the best thing I would say is to think about realistic goals. If I want to lose weight, if I want to lower my blood pressure, if I want to be able to run this 5K or pick up my grandchildren, what would need to change? What habits would need to change? What lifestyle habits would I need to start incorporating into my day? What things should I be eating to help my body repair from an injury, or to lower my blood sugar, or to increase my energy, or to make me feel less bloated? Would I need to eat more often? Would I need to eat smaller portions? Would I need to prepare meals or pay someone to prepare meals? Would I need to join a gym or work out? Would I need to decrease stressors in my life? So the second question I ask clients, which I'd like you to think about also and write down, is what are the top 3 stressors in your life? It could be, I will tell you, the top 3 that I hear from my clients is typically work, family, and finances. They're typically, and then close fourth would be health. Health, we think of how to become healthy, eating right and exercising. And it sounds really simple to just say, all right, then go do that. But we think about all these other things like stress in our life, our families, our relationships, our work environment. There's some things that we can control, and there's some things that we might not be able to control or to change, maybe not right now. So identifying what the 3 main stressors in your life right now, and say maybe for the rest of this quarter, I know we're going into a holiday season where the holidays is a 3-month from Halloween to New Year's period of time versus 7 actual days that are the actual holiday. And so enjoying the holidays in moderation, but being able to do the other things that keep us healthy along the way. So identifying what those stressors are will help us to identify what are those obstacles throughout the past of our life that tend to keep coming back and getting in our way from doing and accomplishing and completing the things or the goals that we may have set for ourselves in the past. So when we go to set achievable goals moving forward, that we can be able to prepare for and recognize what those obstacles that may arise may be. So for example, if you said, I want to start decreasing some stress or incorporating some activities and exercises in my life regularly that would help me to combat stress or feel less stressed. So maybe that's taking a yoga class, or doing a mindful meditation, or doing positive affirmations, or meditating, whatever that is. If you talk to someone who's a meditator and does it regularly, they might do it for 30 minutes a day. They might read and reflect for an hour in the morning. They may exercise and do moving meditation in the morning regularly every day. They may do yoga 5 days a week or 3 days a week. And for most people, that's not realistic. So looking at time, lack of time. Where could you fit it in? Could you do 10 minutes of movement a day and 10 minutes of mindfulness, whether that's meditating, doing a gratitude journal, or just reading something positive, journaling, reflecting during your day? Is there something that you can do and incorporate that can make a little impact, even if it's just a couple minutes, versus saying you have to do this big task? So identifying the things that become the stress in your life that pull you away from taking the time and making the time to do the things you want to be able to do is first. Second would then be to write down what are the things that you feel like in your daily regimen and in your life you think about, this is the ideal life I'd love to live. This is the person I want, the better version of myself I want to become. Here's the things that keep getting in the way. What of those things can't go away? You know, what are those things that are part of my life that are very important and need to stay? But what are the things that maybe I could afford to get rid of? You know, I got rid of cable a long time ago. I downsized in you know, where I lived, and to not worry with finances. You know, where could I save, or could I, you know, take some more time here so I don't have to do so much time there? You know, what are the things that you know might get in the way that you might be able to play with? And then what are the things nextly that you feel like you would need to start incorporating in some way, shape, or form in order to help become your best self that you're not currently doing now, or maybe that you did before but you're not doing as often, whether if that's because you're back to school, or because of COVID and that this whole new lifestyle that we have had to endure to live. Especially with that in mind, as we want to be our best selves, especially physically, because of the risk around us, right? And so identifying what would be the things over the next year, 3 months, that you might need to incorporate to help grow your knowledge of what's best for you to do. That's why we do metabolic testing and have in-body scales to track your progress, and so you know where to start, and you're not just kind of guessing and trial and error. You actually have a solid roadmap of where to start, where to go. Maybe it's growing in your confidence, surrounding yourself in a community. Miss Duffy is awesome with pulling a community together to help everyone do it together, because no one's ever doing it alone. There's always somebody else that's in the same boat, that's having the same obstacles and struggles with eating better or having time to meal prep. I had a phone conversation earlier with another fellow teacher who had asked me for tips on meal prepping because they were rushing to get to school. They grabbed a leftover cheesesteak and a bag of Cheetos for lunch today because they didn't want to eat the salad bar at school, which is, it happens all the time. But, you know, being able to recognize that life is never going to go as planned all the time, and being able to just roll with it and be able to have different tools into your toolbox to carry with you, so that we can be able to take a step back and be like, okay, today's not maybe going as planned, but I can at least do this. Instead of saying like, I can't do that, or I can't do this, or I don't have access to that, or I can't afford that, or I'm too heavy to do this, or eating healthy is too expensive. There are so many ways to think of it in a way of, well, like, maybe I can't do that, but I can do this. The idea of the glass is half full. And when we're in a space in both our mindset and our health that we may not yet be, where the glass is half full and it tends to be half empty, it's harder to recognize those little things that we could do in order to get to that end destination. So we talked about defining what the ideal life of you looks like. What would you be doing? How would you feel, look? How would you spend your time? Where would you go? What would work look like? We talked about identifying your main sources of stress, those obstacles in your life that tend to keep you from doing the things that you know you need to do to help you grow and become your best self. We talked about identifying the things that you can start or need to start incorporating into your daily habits in order to improve to become your best self. So maybe that's starting an exercise regimen. Maybe it's just walking, 3 10-minute sessions a day, or on your lunch break, taking the stairs instead of the elevator, walking with some of your coworkers after school, taking a class with your kids, taking your kids to the park and walking around the park. walking your dog, taking a class, coming here to Quest. A lot of our clients don't have the time to come to class more than 1 or 2 days a week. That's why we have Quest Studio on demand. They're workouts you can do anytime, anywhere, in your classroom, after school, in your living room, or in your basement, or on the side of your car, from your phone, that are 5 or 10 minutes up to 90 minutes. Being able to just start moving, especially if you're not moving right now. When it comes to nutrition, maybe it's looking at what habits are not your best habits when it comes to your nutrition. Maybe it's skipping meals. So maybe it's just breaking that fast and incorporating a snack or a meal for breakfast every day, especially on your work day, to notice how that affects your energy throughout the day. Maybe if you're eating out and eating fast food most days of the week for your lunch, maybe it's taking a few weeks to pick 1 or 2 food choices for your lunch and meal prep those meals for the whole week on Sunday to save you time for the week, or do it 2 days during the week so that you can have meals ready and snacks available. I tend to put snacks in my car console, in my glove box, in my gym bag, in my purse, at the studios, at every studio, just so that a lot of times I go back to back to back with clients, or you might go class to class to class and you're like, it's 2 o'clock and I didn't eat for the last 6 hours. My energy gets depleted, my strength gets depleted. I risk losing lean muscle when I do that, and as does everybody. And it really affects and can slow down our metabolism when we do that. So just having things available and just planning for that. If it's stress, that's one of your main concerns, looking at your sources of stress and what's one thing that I can focus on. If it's finances, can I make a budget for the month? If it's work, can I prep some things ahead of time to take less time at work to give you, or can you outsource some tasks to somebody else or do it as a team so that you're not having to do everything yourself. One of the other tools that we use, and I know we'll work on later this fall when we do some of our wellness days, we always think about our main pillars of health. And when I went to school, my background is as a master's degree in exercise physiology. In our programs, we look at our pillars of health. The main ones are physical, so exercise, nutrition, stress, and sleep. And then you can fill in a whole other bunch of ones. Some say supplementation, some say mindset, some say relationships. But one tool that I use a lot with my clients with coaching is something called the 10 forms of wealth, or the 10 forms of health. And so we look at those 10 forms as spiritual, physical, our mindset, our family, our business, our finances, our adventure, so taking time to go do things you love, and legacy. So looking at our legacy, our impact that we have on others, and nutrition. So when we look at those different areas of our life, and we look at what does a better and best version of ourselves look like, a lot of times it may be, I want to travel more, I want to lose some weight, I want to be debt-free by the time I'm 40, I want to go with my family once a month for pizza night, I want to have girls' night trips or girls' weekend trips with my friends at least once a quarter. I want to be able to make an impact on my community. I feel like impact for a lot of people is the most challenging because they're so consumed in their day-to-day responsibilities that the idea of, if we were to be gone tomorrow, and we all know that day comes, but if we were to be gone tomorrow, what would your legacy right now, today, be for those who know and love you, what would that look like? And that's always something that resonates very strongly with me. And so how we live our lives and the daily tasks that we complete and the little things that we do with our time in order to get through our day, what impact does that leave on your community, on your students, on your co-staff, your family, your friends, your relationships, your community? It's a very big thing to think about, but when it comes to starting to make changes or adjustments or shifts in where our thoughts and our actions coexist in our daily choices, it makes a big difference. And so I hope that for today, as you learn different techniques during your wellness day for mindfulness, for how to stress relief with yoga, with Kelly, to pick one word that comes up and really take time to focus on the one thing. So when we look at the 10 forms of wealth, if you pick 12 things that you could improve or focus on for the next year, and each month you just do one, you could do that with nutrition. You could pick 12 things in fitness, exercise, and nutrition that you would love to incorporate over the next year or 6 months, and set a minimum goal and a maximum goal. Making sure you might have a really big goal, but what are those little things you got to do to lead up to it? What's the minimum you need to do to get results you want and to feel accomplished? And then what's to lead up to the maximum goal? So you're not falling into that trap of, well, I didn't do that, so I'll wait till next time, or I'll do it the next time, because that happens all the time. Being able to set little minimal steps, baby steps, to reach that goal, and focus on one at a time. You can pick 4 nutrition goals and do one for 1 week, the second for a second week, knowing that you don't have to do everything and jump in with both feet all at once every time. But in order to grow personally and as a community, as a staff at Carbondale, the biggest thing is that you realize that everybody has something that they're always looking to improve and do better. There are so many strengths that you already have that you need to celebrate. Recognize, lastly, and write down what are the things you're doing well that are working that maybe didn't work before. What are the accomplishments you've achieved over the past year to 6 months that you're proud of? What are the things that you can do now that maybe you couldn't do before? How could you still continue to grow? How can you help somebody else grow? And that's the cool thing about what you guys are doing today, is that you have an opportunity to kind of all grow together. So I would encourage you to share your one word, both with me and Miss Steffi and your coworkers, so that they can support you. But I would also attach little action items that are achievable in your mind that you know you can do, but will help to stretch you. If I think about my comfort zone, when it came especially to buying this beautiful space, this wasn't a plan for us, and I set the word grow before this was even a thing. And just a funny story, I ended up growing in number of locations, which was not my plan. But I feel like when we manifest what we want, it comes in ways that maybe we didn't expect or plan on, but that in the end are just so special and meant to happen that way. And so being able to put this word somewhere where you can see it, but attaching those little action items to that word, so that you're not focusing on all these things you have to do, but the end goal and the end result. The result is what you're focusing on. And so if you need help with that, you know that me and Quest Studio and our staff, we're always here. We are celebrating our 5th anniversary for Quest Studio on November 4th. We will have an open house that day, but we have some pretty awesome offerings for you guys just for tuning in with me today. So we have 2 different intro specials for you. One for just fitness, a $30 for 30 days fitness membership, where you get unlimited access to our classes, both in person or live stream if you need to do it from home or after school, or Fitness Plus Nutrition Kickstart, which is a $99 special, and that includes a Kickstart meal plan, an in-body scan with a goal-setting session, as well as your 30-day unlimited membership, which is an awesome way to kind of get some guidance on where you're starting so you can track your progress and be able to reach your goals. If stress and like you've got some aches and pains, maybe you're not ready to come back to a regular workout regimen, we also are offering a discounted intro rate for our fascial stretch therapy sessions. And so I'll send all of that information to Miss Steffi to include with this video. So if you have any questions, please let me know. If you are on social media, please send me your one word and your takeaways from this lesson today to me at Quest Studio, either on Facebook or Instagram, or to the email address provided to you today, or phone number, or call me if you have any questions. I appreciate you guys for taking the time with me today, and I hope that you guys enjoy the rest of your wellness day, and we'll see you soon at our next event. Have a great day.